Yes, I'm live. I'm live. I'm live. I'm live. I'm live. Log on to doggiedimondstv.com. That is my official website. See, sometimes when you come and you're looking for me and you might say, damn, he ain't do no content. He ain't do stuff. You know, that's YouTube playing games with my channel as they've been doing for some years now. So I decided to make sure I put everything on my website from YouTube, and that's doggiedimondstv.com. You could just bookmark the site, save it in your phone as one of your favorites. I'm working on getting the app now for you to download. But that's where everything is at, doggiedimondstv.com. And also, let me give you some information about this promotion that I do. Have you heard about my $200 social media promotion deal? If you haven't, let me give you some details really, really quick. First and foremost, the promotion will be done on Doggie Diamonds TV and the Interlude TV accounts. That's the Insta stories, the YouTube communities, the threads, the Facebook, and the Twitter accounts. I could promote whatever you need. However, this is for serious inquiries only. Must be Cash App ready. I can help you get in front of over 500,000 people with a post on my various social media outlets with your product. Just contact me at Doggie Diamonds on Instagram. At Doggie Diamonds on Instagram. Let's go. So as you file into the room, I'm going to need you to hit that like button. It is important that you hit that like button. Yeah. So, we got T.2 in the building. We got AJ Wise, peace to you. Disrupting Reality NYC, what's up? It's Boss, what's up? Yeah, we here, let's go. EC, what's up? So, Disrupting Reality NYC, It's Boss, the EC are all members. That's why they on green. Sean, maybe, you know. Boo-Way, what's up? Yes. Playback Gang is always in the building. Shout out to the Playback Gang, too. La 623, what's up? Sharia Moore, what's up? Fort Lauderdale, Florida is in the building. And don't forget,
Doggie Diamonds did this.
See, I figured out how to get it back because I didn't know how to do it last time. I had something turned down, but I figured it out. Yes, the Bronx is in here. T-Mac, what's up? L-Matic, what's up? I just need y'all to get them likes up. Getting the likes up is very, very easy. TGG 813, what's up? Sincere, what's up? Peace. Yes.
Doggie Diamonds did this.
Sir God Black Man, what's up? Fan PNA, what's up? I'd like to shout out everybody, supporter, non-supporter. If you here and you showing face and you typing in that chat, I'm gonna say your name regardless. You know, because you could be anywhere else, but you're here. So I gotta support you the way you support me. And don't forget, when you send a super chat, your name appears on the screen. DJ Ray 73, what's up? Rosa Bloom, husband. Whoa. Calm down, Rosa. Don't be saying we married, because I ain't married. It's Boss, what's up? 10310. Yes. Shade Cobain, what's up? Chilltown Majors, what's up? Sierra Holmes, what's up? Brandon Spivey, what's up? Yes, PA all day. Incognito. See that UK flag. Quentin Jones, what's up? I'm here. And don't forget,
Doggie Diamonds did this.
I am here. Working. Yes, Creative Designs and Signs, what's up? Kush Rick Brooklyn, you heard? All right, that's what's up. DJ Yames, what's up? Yeah. Marlon Burnett, what's up? Trouble Sick TV is in the building. Hold on. Let me get right. Hold on.
Doggie Diamonds did this.
All right, I got it back. Big Pound Music, what's up? All right, I got it back because I ain't know how to do it for me. Hold on.
Doggie Diamonds did this.
I was feeling a little weird. Oh, something is missing too. I'm tripping. There we go. I feel in full Doggie Diamonds mode. How's everybody doing? You know, I haven't been going live lately. I've been working on stuff behind the scenes, working on stuff, with something that happened to me that I'm not allowed to talk about publicly, I found out. So I'm not going to talk about it. If you know, you know. But I'm all good. Got the whip back today. Got my whip back. Superstar Rel, what's up? So, today I seen what happened with Tory Lanez. I think what I'm going to say tonight might not be favorable to some, but I don't care. You know, I say what I want, when I want, how I want. It's my platform, AKA outlet. And I say what I want. And I like to put things in its proper perspective because, you know, it's needed in our culture because there's so many bozos and clowns that just say stuff and, you know, it sound cool to say, but I don't think a lot of things sound cool to say. So I don't say it. You know, so if you don't know, let me bring you up to speed of what's going on. Tory Lanez was, let's say, poked 14 times today while where he was at for the Megan Thee Stallion situation. And I'm going to go ahead and read. Tory Lanez was hospitalized on Monday after a fellow inmate at the California Correctional Institution in Tehachapi attacked the rapper around 7:20 a.m. local time. A spokesperson for the prison told ABC News. Staff immediately responded, activated 911, and began medical aid. Peterson was subsequently transported to an outside medical facility for further treatment, the spokesperson said. The rapper, whose legal name is Daystar Peterson, is serving a 10-year prison sentence for injuring fellow hip-hop artist Megan Thee Stallion, whose legal name is Megan P. The prison spokesman did not provide further comment when asked about the nature of Peterson's injuries. I'm about to say, what the hell going on with my phone? Whether he has been released from the hospital or whether a suspect has been charged in the attack. However, and then we could go right here where it says this. This is from his official Instagram account. Tory has been poked, including 7 wounds to his back, 4 to his torso, 2 to the back of his head, and 1 to the left side of his face. Both of his lungs collapsed, and he was placed on a breathing apparatus. He is now breathing on his own despite being in pain. He is talking normally in good spirits and deeply thankful to God that he is pulling through. He also wants to thank everyone for their continued prayers and support. So as you see via the news, they got to him. They got to him. They hurt him pretty bad. That's rough right there. I want to read that again because that's rough. That's pretty rough. Yeah, that's pretty rough. So if you just coming in the room, I'm gonna read that really quick. Stop the music. I'm gonna read that really quick because that's rough right there, man. Hold on. That's rough. So it says he was stabbed 14 times. 14 times. Including 7 to his back, 4 to his torso, 2 to the back of his head, and 1 to the left side of his face. Both of his lungs collapsed, and he was placed on a breathing apparatus. He is now breathing on his own. Despite being in pain, he is talking normally, in good spirits, and deeply thankful to God that he is pulling through. He also wants to thank everyone for their continued prayers and support. Now, I don't have the freedom that other people do on YouTube to put certain titles in, or they don't give me that freedom. If I say certain things, you know, they come down on me. So I have to really talk, you know, how I have to talk. But y'all get it and y'all understand for those who follow me and those who are supporters of what I do. Why is this title what it is? And the title of this is Tory Lanez really thought it was a game and he lost. Now he lost in many ways. He lost because he's in there in the first place. And I don't think he belongs in there. I think that he knows some truth that he withheld that caused his demise. He knows some truth that he withheld, and trying to keep a certain street code that don't even really matter, trying to live up to that. He's in a situation where this could happen because in my opinion, I don't think he belongs in there. I think something else took place, but we have to say it's an opinion and allegedly because according to law, he was convicted. So we could feel like he's innocent, but wasn't proven to be innocent. So playing the game, this street rules, this I ain't telling, I ain't this, I ain't that. You not telling on somebody, in my opinion, if somebody's blaming you for something heinous that you didn't do. You're not telling. You're not telling. It's not you saying, oh, I didn't do it, they did it or whatever. Yo, I didn't do this and we not in cahoots. See, you a rapper. See, this is what happens when you got these dumb, oh man, I'm about to go. This is what happens when you have these fake thug street rappers who's doing podcasts, who's talking, and the way they rap make you believe that you're getting some type of kudos and props for keeping it real with people who don't care about you. You only have to be loyal to yourself and your family. You go over it with your family. You go over it with your loved ones, and you go over it with yourself. Trying to keep it real with the streets, trying to keep it real with the court of public opinion, you're going to lose every time. Because regardless to what, nobody cares. And this is the end result. Now what everybody gonna put? Pray for him? You can't pray. You can pray all you want. But you have P-R-A-Y and you have P-R-E-Y. It's two different prayers that takes place. You got prayers and then you got the prayer. So him being in this situation is because he's trying to uphold that when he come home, you're going to be looked at as some type of hero. And I'm going to get into that later. Now think, Tory Lanez is in prison. He's not in the group home. He's not in shock. He's not in foster care. He's not in a resource room. He's in prison. When you're in prison, you have to jail. You have to jail. You have to worry about what's going around in your immediate surroundings at all times. Why? Because you are a big target. You're a badge of honor. You subjected to extortion. Niggas making you get on the phone and rap. You got to sing to niggas. All types of stuff take place. And anybody who told you, nah, he good in there, he being protected, that's a damn lie. Because I know about some dudes who's some of the livest dudes ever. Some of the livest dudes ever that still got touched. It could happen to anybody. But when you in there and you should be in the law library, when you should be dealing with your attorneys, when you should be tapping in with your family, when you should be doing that, when you should be focusing on giving that time back, you in there trying to be a rapper. You in there worried about putting out albums. You in there trying to show you brolic now and putting out albums and taking pictures. You worry about the wrong shit. You worried about the wrong shit. You worry about the wrong things. Your album does not matter. Your fans should not matter to you because you are in a fight for your life every day. And because I think some guys come home and we see them on YouTube, we see them on podcasts, we see them in different places that glorify or try to glorify what that life is like. You got people who go in there and think that's what the life is going to be like. And he found out. He F-A-F-O. But this is what happens when we have these rappers and these so-called street guys glorifying stuff that shouldn't be glorified. Being taken away from your family, getting your freedom taken away from you, it's nothing to glorify. But sometimes you pay your debt to society. You do what you got to do when you come home. But acting like you was in there, I was running the phones, I was doing this, I did that. Because we see it's an influx of that right now. That is glorified. So at the end of it all, this is the end result. This is what it's all about. You think it's a game. You think you want to be in there doing, you worry about recording an album? You think an album is important? You think recording an album, doing an album is important? I know some people who's been to prison. They don't call home. They don't write home. They like, when I'm in that environment, that's the environment that I need to be worried about. I don't need to know what's going on at home. I don't need to know nothing. I'm in here. I'm jailing. And it seemed like for some reason, he wanted to be and wants to be so connected to what's going on out here that he's going about it the wrong way. He's still trying to entertain. He's still trying to do albums and posts and taking pictures and all of that. Yo, that's a place where some of the most heinous, foulest, grimiest people reside. I don't know nobody. And I could call some of my friends, some of my childhood friends, some of my people. Nobody is good in there. So when people be like, oh, he's under this protection, nobody is good. It could go down at any given time. It could go down at any given time. And see, luckily, he survived this. How many times you think you get to go through that? Because you know he probably lost a pint or two. But people gonna be like, he kept it real low. He kept it 1,000. He kept it real. He stood tall. He held his head. All that stupid cliche shit that don't get you nothing. You come home to a hero's welcome, and then what? Or you're subject to ridicule, because at the end, you're still looked at as somebody who popped a female. To anybody who try to tell you, yo, he's under this protection, he's good, these people's holding him down, man, listen, you are by yourself. You could be on the street and feel alone and be by yourself. Imagine being in there. Ain't no going for no walk. Ain't no, yo, I'm about to get a slice of pizza. So the issue is, how many people gonna follow in his footsteps? How many people think that it's some badge of honor to go through this and think you coming home and you gonna get a ticker tape parade? See, this is what they made you believe, that that's what it is. But Just like that, 7:20 a.m. in the morning, West Coast time, which is 10 a.m., 10:20 a.m. East Coast time, somebody is stabbing him early in the morning. Do you think he went to bed that night to say, damn, I'm gonna get stabbed in the morning. Let me get my Instagram post. Let me schedule it. So for those who don't know, look where they hit him at. "14 times. That's some old American me shit. Now, what did he do that warranted somebody to go at him that much? 14 times? Not just one or two. 14 times, including 7 to his back. So they could have lacerated his liver, his kidneys, spleen. 4 to his torso. 2 to the back of his head. And 1 to the left side of his face. Both of his lungs collapsed, and he was placed on a breathing apparatus. He's now breathing on his own. Despite being in pain, he's talking normally and in good spirits and deeply thankful to God that he is pulling through. But nah, y'all keep listening to these dudes. Y'all keep listening to these dudes that's making you think that is all good. Y'all keep listening to them. Y'all keep listening to these rap dudes, and some of them never even been through it. Now we hear stuff. We hear stuff like George Zimmerman is walking around. Various people who's been very, very oppy and went at us. And they walking around. Now, I'm not inciting or telling anybody to do anything. But it's easy for us to have smoke with us because nobody care about us. And G. Blair said that one of the illest things in the chat, the moral of the story is to stay out of prison. By the way, the super chat is open and the Cash App is available. Anybody that want to support. So they saying, so Jason Young, you said it ain't even Tory, it's Mexicans versus blacks. See, now, this is the problem. And I'm glad that you said that. And if it's true, this is why when people be talking that black and brown shit, I don't be jacking that. That's why I don't be jacking that when they be talking that, oh, we together. No. We together conditionally. Because I'm going to be real with you 100%. Me as a black man who considers himself to be FBA, ain't nobody with me. Because I know at any given time, people are going to draw a line in the sand. If my own people are going to do it, what do I think somebody else going to do that? Do. So all that, yo, is us and all that, no. It ain't us. Because when it's time, they let it be known they different. Whether they want to speak with an accent or they want to speak a whole different language, they let it be known we ain't the same. And especially if I got something they want or they don't consider me to be one of them, nah, it's up for me. And I know that. And that's the problem with a lot of people face. And that's why certain people are mad at us, because we waking up to, hold on, we ain't got no friends. We don't got no friends. You black when it's conditional. The black and the brown, the Chicanos and all. Man, listen. I love who love me. And I don't even always love who love me, because even sometimes love is conditional to the situation. Love is conditional to what you can do for somebody. The minute you don't do for somebody, there goes the love. So I just treat everybody like, yo, all right, we cool when it comes to content, but when it comes to me having to watch my back, I know that I'm alone. Why you think I walk around by myself? Why you think I'm alone most of the time? Because I know that I'm alone. I know that I'm alone. I know that I'm alone. I don't want to involve nobody in my bad. That's why I don't want to involve nobody in my good. I'm alone. I got my biological family. That's it. Because I know the minute I have something that's worth taking, somebody gonna try to take it. That's just what it's all about. That's what it's all about. But what I'm strongly against is us acting like that's a place to be. Like you get an extra scoop of mashed potatoes because you in prison. Most individuals did things in our youth. We learned. But it ain't no way in hell. And this is what bothers me. That's why I don't like a lot of these dudes. Because they sitting there, 1 minute, they like, stop the violence. Yo, put the guns down, stop this and stop that. But then in the next minute, they gangster. So what are you? What are you? And I be looking at dudes, depending on who they standing with, that's who they are. How many of these dudes do you see stand by themselves? I respect certain dudes. I see them by themselves. They could be held responsible for what they say and do, good or bad. But it's the one that's perpetuating a lifestyle that's not even it's not even beneficial to us anymore. We learn better, we know better. It's 2025. The computers is talking to us. There's a lot going on right now. It's all the information. And we still acting like being a bozo nigga is cool. We still acting like I'm outside and I'm this is cool. So if you're 45 and up, and I'm being light because you really should have turned it in before that. So if you're 45 and up, and this is what you showing, why we so worried about what the little dudes do? See, that's why I don't worry about the little dudes. That's why I don't be mad at the young dudes, because I think the old dudes are stupider than the young dudes. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. You know why the old dudes? There's nobody worse than the old fool, right? The little dudes, the younger dudes, the younger generation, they figured out how to get to money. They figured out how to put their music out. They figured out how to create movements. They figured out how to do things on social media. These older dudes is always worried about how could they get a budget. And they bad leaders. They bad leaders. Look how many of these older dudes, these old rappers, I don't care if they do podcasts together, they're bad leaders because nobody around them ever benefits. Nobody around them ever comes up. But you'll see somebody like, and I'm not saying he was a good leader, but you'll see How is it that somebody like Lil Durk might have put out more artists than people, or Kodak Black or somebody, but then you got these veterans? Who you ever put out? Who you ever help? Bad leaders. But they the ones that's most vocal. They the ones that just keep talking. They saying in 1 minute what the little dudes shouldn't do, but then they act just like that. They act just like that. At this point of the game, how many more podcasts do we need of people talking when it should be these dudes is in positions? Why don't you do? We don't need nobody else talking. What else do we, how many more people do we need talking? When you gonna do? So you ain't setting up no institution. You're not going back to your block. You're not going back to your neighborhood. You're not going nowhere, setting up nothing from the place that birthed you, where you still claim. And then you just want to do a part because it's for a check. It's all for a check. But these are the spokespeople for our culture, and they've been bad leaders. Bad leaders. It's some people in hip hop that never put nobody on. And they front like they put people on, but that was conditional too, because they want people around them to help them write, people around them to help them produce, or people around them to steal their aura and their swag. A lot of that is going on too. Which reminds me, I seen lately, shout out to Gerald Prince Miller for getting out of prison, doing his time and coming home. He paid his debt to society. I've yet to hear him speak, so I don't know his mentality. I don't know where he's at mentally. He's an older man. He's older than me. Hopefully, which is probably the situation, he's a changed individual because I can't hold him to who he was to who he might be today. But I've seen him come home to a hero's welcome. And for the life of me, I can't understand what he's a hero of. Now, if you're saying welcome home, you change, you got these things in place, you want to implement this, implement that, but I've seen somebody call him a superhero. I'm like, a superhero or what? See, I got something called survivor's remorse sometimes because a lot of my friends didn't make it. Sometimes I have flashbacks of being in the streets and stupid ass situations. And I'm glad I got out of it. But then sometimes I'll go back and I say, well, what made me do that? What made me be in this situation? I blame it sometimes on youth. Sometimes I blame it on stupidity. Sometimes I blame it being at the wrong place at the wrong time. But overall, I blame me. And in blaming me, I went and got therapy for it. I went and got therapy for it because shit ain't cool, man. Like, that's why I don't sit here and glorify anything. That's why I don't be talking about a lot of stupid shit, because it ain't nothing to glorify. You see with me and my cousin Taz sit up here, yo, we could tell y'all stories for days, but it ain't nothing to glorify. But to throw a party for somebody, and then you got these rappers showing up who ain't did a day in jail, talking about, yo, he a superhero. Superhero for what? You cannot be a man who harmed in your community, hustled in your community, people still mourning and sad from what you did in the community, and they calling you a hero? A hero for what? What are you a hero of? But again, if he came home and he's a changed man and he look back in hindsight and say, yo, I did a lot of wrongdoing, this, that, and the third. But why are y'all telling him he's a hero? Why are y'all, because y'all get to stand next to somebody who put in work? See, this is the shit. Because if you're really somebody who really was outside, you don't glorify none of that. Everybody who I know, from myself included, all my homies, everybody that I know that was a part of doing dumb, young shit, don't think it's cool now. We don't glorify it. We don't want to talk about it. We don't sit there and act like it's cool, because it wasn't cool. It was environmental. It was dumb, and it was due to lack of education, lack of resources, and lack of self-love. That's why we partook in a lot of that stupid shit. I got homies that's in there right now. You know what they tell me? Yo, stick to doing what you doing. Don't crash. Don't do no dumb shit. And don't do nothing to come in here. Because this ain't the place to be. But I watch everybody play. I watch everybody posture. And I feel like Tory is where he's at because we under the influence of a culture that don't even benefit us no more. Sir God Black Man, look how the universe. I said for a culture that don't benefit us no more. He said, Doggie, could this be deemed black culture? At the same time, synchronized. That's how I know a lot of us is in tune with each other and in tune with this universe. He asked me that as I said that. And it's deep because y'all on a little delay. We in a culture that don't even benefit us no more. How is it beneficial to us anymore now? We know the destruction of it. We know the harm of it. We know what's going to happen, and we still keeping it going. And you got dudes who go home to gated communities, dudes who got bodyguards, who got handlers, who got all of this, that's making you think that living this way and living this life is cool. Plant-based ministries. First of all, what are you talking about? Nobody's celebrating anything, for one. For two, if you don't get your flower picking, tree hugging, processed plant food ass the hell up out of here, you ain't even no warrior because you don't even eat blood. So take that plant-based shit somewhere else, man. I ain't for all that either. Plant-based ministries. Mushroom burger eating ass. Eat steak. Eat a piece of chicken. Then talk to me. Kill what you eat. Plant-based ministries. It's a problem now. Soy. Probably take too much soy in. Anyway. But this is what happens when you think you make some phone calls. Now I'm good in here. I'm with such and such. That ain't nobody good in jail, man. Nobody. I done seen some of the toughest dudes tell. I done seen some of the dudes who was on the street that wasn't about that. Went in there, went crazy. I done seen some of the people that was about that on the street, went in there under the deodorant, sunned out. I'm just saying, what we perpetuate, what we think is cool, it ain't cool. It ain't cool. It ain't cool. It ain't helping us no more. It don't help the children. It didn't help our elders, and it ain't helping us. And whether y'all like it or not, we the elders now. administer others. They 90s and late 80s. We the elders now. It's up to us to set the precedent for what we want for our future and who's coming behind us. That's up to us now. Now, we have fun. We do all that. But when it comes down to being responsible, we got a responsibility. Man, fuck out of here. Health is wealth. Get out of here. I don't care nothing about that vegan stuff either, so y'all can miss me with that. If you vegan, fine. I ain't no vegan. All right, because I'm tired of y'all with that little religion too. A lot of y'all be frail, looking crazy, teeth all crazy. Get out of here with that. I'm tired of that. Don't come in here with that. Straight up. Talking about that's where we come from. Health is wealth. You talking to somebody who lost 120 pounds and you telling me health is wealth. And I work out every day, walking 4 miles a day. Health is wealth. So you think because you drink soy and you don't eat this, you healthy? Go talk to, that's another thing with y'all. That's another thing with y'all. Y'all got so many of y'all that cap and come on here and play. And y'all play and y'all pander in people's face and you're not really about that. You're not really about, I don't care what you eat or don't eat. What that got to do with anything? Do you hear what I'm talking about? And you're going to try to change the conversation to food? To food? Would you wash your sea moss down with Hennessy? Netty net. Thank you. Anyway, health is wealth. Another cliche shit. If health is wealth, why y'all be looking like that though? Health is wealth. You notice people talk about health? But what I'm talking about affects your mental health, and dudes will go right past the mental and talk about the physical. Just really think about that. First of all is mental. Everything starts in the mind. Everything starts in the mind, but they always omit that and think, yeah, man, I had some soursop juice and be batshit crazy. What about mental health? How come we never deal with anybody in their mental health? Be in the crib, taking psychedelics and all the time. Man, y'all listen, man. Don't come at me with that. I ain't never been jacking that. Never. Your underarms be musty. I ain't never jacking that. I ain't one of them dudes. I ain't one of them dudes. Don't ever. I don't care about offending nobody. See, that's the problem. It's a topic you got to research more, so just move on before you. I don't care if you offended. It's called Doggie Diamonds No Filter. I don't care if you offended. I hope you offended. What's your name? Yo, I don't care about you and your journey. Your journey is personal, but you coming in here telling me how to go on my journey. Or what? I don't care about what you did. You ain't the star of this show. I'm the goddamn star. You see the way my skin glisten? About people on their journey. You know how I lost 120 pounds? It had nothing to do with food. Had something to do with the weight on my mind. Once you lose the weight off your mind, it's gonna fall off your body. How many times I've been saying that? When you're stressed out, do you overeat? Do you undereat? It's your mind. All is mental. Sometimes your mind will tell you you're hungry, but you're really thirsty. The food is poisoning the body and the mind. If we were eating clean, we wouldn't be out here wilding. The whole hood needs to be juicing. You do juice. You drink Hennessy and cranberry. Yo, don't start me on that because y'all gonna lose. Y'all gonna lose. But what y'all not gonna do is y'all not gonna take over what I'm talking about. Y'all not gonna do that. Straight up. All is mental. Listen, anyway, what I'm saying is this, and this is important that I drive this point on because I get the likes up to. It's over 500 people in the room. Was 600 people in the room at one point, and we ain't even got 200 likes. I need y'all to hit the like. It's a culture that's not benefiting us no more. It really never has. I correlated it with sinners. See, they know how to get to us. They know how to make us sit together, stand together, act like we together. And then they know how to throw distractions out there. They know how to do a lot of things. So that one day, we all for this. And then the next day, they'll put a statue in the middle of Times Square. And people are reacting to that. You know, sometimes the best reaction is no reaction. See, when you don't react, people don't know how to react to you. See, when people know your triggers, what makes you crash out, when they know that, that's how people dictate you. That's how people dictate you. So we believe the more harmful we are to each other, the more gangster we are, the more promiscuous we are, the more loud, unruly, you get some type of badge. You know, look at this, right? I love black women, right? I never dated anything but black women, right? And look how it gets glorified for the average black woman you see to be telling somebody off. To be telling somebody off, whether it's on the train, on the bus, in a car. Every time you see some of them, you look and it's all you see. Right? And it's glorified, like the Jasmine Crockett chick. And people will be like, she ate. She ain't no joke. The fuck did she eat? So her not being no joke means what? Exactly. What did she get? Oh, she ate. And again, I'm going to say this again, because a lot of the words and the verbiage that y'all be using be coming from mooks. Straight up. It be coming from them. And the same people that we supposed to be protecting is protecting somebody else that ain't even trying to preserve or prolong life. Listen, a lot of things don't make no sense to me. That's why we say, yo, I'm confused. So we're supposed to protect you while you protect them. Y'all don't feel protected when we're all in a system that don't protect none of us. But when it comes to rights and protection, you protect them. Do that make sense? Then you got dudes who see the youngins out here wilding, and then they rap. I get one of my little young boys. It's such a listen. Y'all gonna have to start calling and holding these rappers to task. Y'all gonna have to start holding them responsible for a lot. Y'all gonna have to start holding them responsible for a lot. Because before you, he went in, he deep. Niggas be shallow. It just sound good. Just because you hear something and it sound good to you, or people know how to put words together, a lot of people don't live what they talk. It just sound good. Most of it is regurgitation. Somebody else said it, so it sound good, and I'm going to say it, or I got a bigger platform, so I'm going to say this and I'm going to say that. You know, and I look at stuff, and I want to clarify something too. My homeboy asked me today, he said, when I mentioned Fat Joe, you got disdain. Let me just say this, and this is a good time to say this. I don't have nothing against Fat Joe. I like Fat Joe music. I listen to Fat Joe music. I don't know Fat Joe the person. Did me and him have an exchange in the DM? Yeah. It's not personal. As far as business, some of the things he did, I don't agree with. Some of the things that come out his mouth, I don't believe. Don't believe. I think a lot of things he say be cat, but it's entertaining though. So that's why he keep, getting it. He's working on his third podcast because he was Jopra. Then he had the other shit with the tunnel. Then he got the Joe and Jada show. And, most people, storytellers, are very, very entertaining. They don't have to tell the truth. They just sound believable. But he's, on occasion, said how he really feel about us. And I don't have to jack it. That's it. It ain't nothing personal. But I don't understand how some of these people who get the megaphone and they talk out loud, how they're viewed as so profound. That's what I don't get. And then I'm looking at it for what it really is, because you was in trouble with the FBA thing. Just test, this is my theory. This is my theory. The FBA thing wasn't a good look. So they said, yo, you got to chill. We need to find some good PR. So you come back and then you get Jadakiss to co-sign you. So if you cool with Kiss, everybody love Jadakiss. Maybe you'll be accepted again. And that's what I think. I could be 100% wrong, but that's what I think. I think they trying to use Jadakiss to make him cool with us again. That's what I think. So that's why I ain't jacking that. This is what I think. Could be wrong. But when people tell you who you are, who they are, people tell you how they feel about you, you got to believe them. And like I said, I see a lot of bad leaders. I see a lot of dudes who've been gatekeeping, who've been in power positions for so long. They've been put in a situation for whatever reason, and they ruined more lives than they helped. And they washing, rinsing, repeating the same people. The same people. So, me, I got a lot of dignity. I got a lot of dignity. I got integrity, but that's personal. But I got a lot of dignity. And when I feel like I'm fighting for, first of all, my family, I'm talking about my family. I ain't talking about, my extended family, my online family. I'm talking about when I feel like I'm fighting for my family. And you know what's deep, right? You know what's deep? Y'all don't got no children in y'all family? You ever ask that? Like, you don't have no children that just look at you and adore you and want to be like you and think you a superhero? Like, how do they get omitted out of everything? Like, when you carry yourself a certain way, you don't fear the child who loves you looking at you? You don't think about that? You don't think about the child that wants to be like you, the child that's proud of you, looking at you a certain way? You don't want to make the children proud of you? Because I'd be wondering how people act a certain way. Would you sit your children in front of you? Would you let your children listen to your music? Would you tell your child, show them how to smoke, how to drink, how to dot? Would you do that? So if you don't do that with your children, how do you do it with somebody else's? How do you do it with somebody else's? So I'll always be confused because shout out to little homies around my way. And a lot of little homies around my way, they respect me and respect a lot of dudes in my family because some of them wasn't even born. And they always said, yo, I heard you this, that, and the third. But they always say, I never saw that. I never seen you act like that. Because at what age do you say, I'm no longer the young man I was? Now I am a grown-ass man. Think about this. At what age does your child become a nigga? You ever thought about that? At what age do you start calling your son a nigga? Do you call him that as a baby? Is it a rite of passage? Just really think about that. Is he a 7-year-old nigga? Is he 8? Is he 10? Is when he turned 13, do you start calling him that? Y'all ever thought about that? Think about a newborn. You have a newborn baby. Do you look at your baby and say, this little nigga won't go to sleep? Do you say that? You never thought about that? And I'm saying all this to say that we got to do this for the youth and the babies and all. Yo, y'all don't really care. Y'all don't care. You just care about getting your money. You don't care. Y'all don't care. It's all cap. Y'all don't care. You just really think if they don't care. It's as long as they could get some money to get a chain and a whip. And then front on the people who they call poor. You ever notice whenever you criticize somebody who made it, what's the first thing they say? They got more money than you and you broke. But how did you get your money, though? You didn't get it honestly. You're not a roofer. You're not an electrician. You're not a school bus driver. How did you get your money? by selling shit to us that you're supposed to be so against. Let's really think about that. So I want y'all to think about that. So when you say, yo, you broke. Well, if we all did what you did and how you did it, we all get bread. We all have money. Because I find it funny that you got this Diddy party. He wasn't partying by himself, right? Who was there? We seen pictures of people there. We saw it. We see the pictures. All white parties. Al Sharpton and shit. So how could you go somewhere and do some of the wildest shit on earth and then come for us and be talking about the youth? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, that's why I just be chilling. I just be chilling, man. I just be chilling. I'd be like, nah, not today. Not today. If your son, daughter, nephew, niece, little cousins, please start investing in the children's dreams, aspirations, and goals. Because that is fruit that you plant. And if you water it and feed it the right food, that's from you. That's why I don't be wanting to come online and be a degenerate. Listen, degeneracy is rewarded. Listen, man, you be a degenerate, you get rewarded. But imagine if somebody invested in you the way you have the capability to invest in a child. And it don't always have to be, it could be the neighbor's child. You could see they have the gift. Oh, he want to play football, but he don't have uniform money. Give him the money. Maybe you can't get high for a week. Maybe you can't drink this weekend. Start thinking about that, because it is a generation 2, 3 that's coming behind us. And we looking like failures because somebody failed us, and we just keeping the cycle going. We think breaking generational curses mean I'm going to be the rich one in my family. But that's not what a generational curse is. It has nothing to do with money. Because sometimes the money is the curse. That's the problem. Everybody chasing money. But they not chasing morals, values, and principles. It's all about bread. And by all means, get your money. But what did you do and how did you do it to get your bread? So, whoever stabbed Tory Lanez, you think they finished? You think it's like, all right, you good now. They not finished. Whatever's going on, it's not done. He got like another 9 years of this shit. But I ain't mean to keep y'all this late. My bad. But I just had to get that off. You know what I'm saying? I had to get that off. And all the children in my life, you know how I feel. And not only do I support them verbally, I support them emotionally, financially, and mentally too. If you know me personally, you hear me if I'm talking to you on the phone, I'm into speaking life into people. And it's not about a lifestyle. See, that's why I don't like people who say, oh, I'm a vegan. Stop trying to sell me your lifestyle. I don't care who it is. Stop trying to sell a lifestyle. You can't sell people a lifestyle. That's the problem now. People just keep trying to sell a lifestyle and I'm plant-based. That's a lifestyle. Can't sell me your lifestyle. We got so much damn death style being sold to us. Just sell people life. Life. I believe the scripture states that one that's weak eats only vegetables. Did you mean weak as in W-E-A-K? But anyway, let me get up out of here. I got to go. I'm going to holler at y'all later on. I've been dropping a lot of content. Y'all got to check the channel out. Stop wilding on my thumbnails. I'm having fun. Like I said, first they'll clown you, then they'll copy, you know. So check out some of the things that's on the channel. You go right here, you go to videos. I've been uploading a lot. Again, this platform plays a lot of games with my numbers, but that ain't stopping nobody. I still work hard, still going to continue to work hard. That's it, man. That's all I really could say. I'm, just doing me, just living life. Anyway, until next time. Somebody said, Doggie, the brothers who murdered Malcolm in front of his kids don't eat pork. I wasn't there, so I don't know who did that. I don't think you was there either. So I didn't say anything. I didn't even say anything about pork. I ain't say nothing about pork. I didn't say eat pork or don't eat pork. What I'm saying is that I don't care what somebody else eats or don't eat. You know what I'm saying? I got some interviews. They're coming. Trust me, they're coming. I got some interviews. Shout out to you, man, for going back to the old content. No, I got some interviews. And I got a bombshell. Goodness gracious. I'm working on it. So I got I have like microphones, but I'm working on buying this wireless mics and shit like that. Cause yeah, it is what it is. I got it. But no, I got some interviews. I got a lot of interviews, new, old, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I be making my money, eating good, and traveling wherever I want. You think I care about your verbal disrespect? I'll go to France to feel better while you brag about disrespecting me. Jeff, what are you talking about? Who are you talking to, Jeff? You're talking to yourself again? I don't even know what Jeff is talking about. And at the same time, I don't even care. I just don't even care. Yo, I got to get up early in the morning. Got a doctor's appointment. So, yeah, y'all have the rest of y'all good night. Please hit the like button. Even if you was in the chat, somebody said, come on, Jeffrey. God damn, you call a nigga Jeffrey.
Doggie Diamonds did this.
Goodness gracious. Yo, that's hilarious. Yo, I fuck with you. Bob, I rock with you. Yo, come on, Jeffrey. That's hilarious. Yeah, even if you was in the chat, make sure you leave me a comment. Make sure you hit the like button. When you hit the like button, it gets recommended. It's just a support thing. And that's what it is, man. Shy Northside, what's up, man? Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to everybody for showing love. Always showing love. Random acts of greatness. Somebody said, is Rocky's still open? You ain't been around the way in a while. I don't think Rocky's is still open. Nah, Rocky's is probably closed. Damn. Y'all know that's some neighborhood shit right there. But it is what it is, man. I'm live. I don't really go live that much no more. And I'll explain why one day. But then sometimes I don't be wanting to explain because the dudes that be here watching and analyzing, they be taking some of the tips and tricks. Maybe I'll explain. I'm going to do that for the members. I'll do that for the members. But I can't be saying a lot of stuff public no more because some of the people who claim they don't like me be using, implementing stuff. So It is what it is. Let me get up out of here, man. And until next time, peace, y'all.